Most Brits have never seen this painting, which is almost immediately recognizable to every American. This painting is titled Freedom from Want by Norman Rockwell. Originally painted in 1943 in the Saturday Evening Post, this was Rockwell's response to FDR's State of the Union speech titled Four Freedoms. Now, what are the four freedoms? Freedom of speech and expression, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. This particular painting, Freedom from Want, is arguably the most recognizable from the series, and while it's not explicitly said to be Thanksgiving, it is now the most iconic image associated with Thanksgiving. Rockwell commonly used neighbors, friends, and family in his paintings. This one is no exception. The main matriarch is his cook, based off of Mrs. Thaddeus Wheaton. Rockwell's wife and mother also have cameos in this painting. I used Freedom from Want in my own advertisement campaign for Birmingham's first Thanksgiving Supper Club, as you can see here, and when I was talking to Brits, this is how I found out that people didn't know where this was coming from. So let's give some context. Even though this was originally published in a magazine, Rockwell really wanted to help the wartime cause. So he took a train to Washington, D.C. to the Office of Wartime Information, by the way, not invited, and pitched this whole series. They rejected him by saying, I quote, "The last war, you illustrators did the posters. This war, we're going to use fine artist men, real artists." Rockwell was depressed about this. On his way back to Vermont, he stopped in Philadelphia to meet the new editor of the Saturday Evening Post, who absolutely loved the concept of four freedoms. At this point, they were just an idea, not even a physical painting, so 7 months later, Norman Rockwell had 4 paintings. While the government initially didn't like the idea, the American public absolutely loved it. There was so much of a success, the Saturday Evening Post started selling prints of them. Norman Rockwell did end up getting what he wanted. The military saw how popular the illustrations were and came back to Rockwell offering a deal. This right here, Ours to Fight for Freedom from Want, is used to sell over $132 million in war bonds. Like any good art, there's of course criticism. Some saying during wartime efforts, especially when rationing was going on in Europe, something of such indulgence and extravagance in an American table was seen as not promoting the wartime efforts, which explains why this imagery never really took off in Europe. Of course, you can interpret this painting in so many different ways, which is what makes it so interesting, and it captures a time and a place in American history perfectly. If you're British, let me know if you knew about this painting or if you've ever seen it before. And if you're based in Birmingham, I'm hosting Birmingham's first Thanksgiving Supper Club November 27th here in the JQ. So make sure you grab your tickets to experience a proper American Thanksgiving.